Silver's on the Scene, Sunday, November 10th, 10:52 in the p.m. We're closing in fast. On Monday, November 11th. I hope the weekend has been great, fantastic for everyone. Hope you're looking forward to Monday morning tomorrow, getting things rolling. Let's start out by this right here. Last seen on February 26th, Sebastian Rogers missing from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Before we jump into that, and before we start saying his name, as you know we're going to, say his name, Sebastian Rogers. Let's get a little paperwork out of the way. Disclaimer, allegedly, in my opinion. Everything you see in this video is alleged, in my opinion. Nothing's a fact. Don't take it as a fact, as this is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research. It is all an opinion. It's what I believe. So I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get going right now. No time to waste here, right? No time to waste. Let there be no distraction. Finding Sebastian. Here's the thing I want to throw up in front of you right now. As it is Sunday, November 10th, going on 11 p.m. Gone! Vanished from his home, 1008 Stafford Court, Hendersonville, Tennessee, 8 months, 15 days ago. Most months have 30. We know this month has 30, so that means 8.5 months ago. And allegedly, in my opinion, disclaimers on the wall, just saw a news report talking about 10 months. Now, I'm not here to point out any wrongdoings or anything, but you can't be saying 10 months when it's 8 months and 15 days. Maybe this is why the boy's missing still. We have to get our stuff correct, right? 36 weeks, 6 days. 36 weeks, 6 days. That means in an hour and about 6 minutes. In an hour and about 6 minutes, 37 weeks. Tomorrow, 37 weeks from the actual day was reported missing, not by 911, but by a call to the Sheriff's Department, a three-way call, allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall, 258 days ago. 258 days, soon to be 259. Gone, vanished. He didn't disappear. He's not missing. He's gone. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Right here it is. Have you seen me? Missing teen. 15 years old. Highly functional autistic. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a $175,000 reward. And I think tonight's video, that's going to play a big part with some of the things I have to say tonight. So I want you to tune in. Say his name, Sebastian Rogers. Say his name, Sebastian Rogers. What is the topic of this video? It took me a minute. When I come to you with videos, I don't want to waste your time. I appreciate you tuning in. My time is limited. I'm sure your time is limited. And it seems like most of us out here, allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall, most of us out here, we don't live in Tennessee. We don't live near Sebastian's home. We're all over the place in this country. We're in other parts of the world. And we care about this child. Say his name, Sebastian Rogers. We care about finding him and bringing him home. Finding him and bringing him home. So, as I'm thinking about a topic, and I don't want to waste your time, and I want it to be relevant, I'm thinking to myself, what are we going to talk about? Why so quiet? Just let you take a few seconds and think about that. Why so quiet? Now, we know that there's reports, big reports going on now about Oregon. 36 hours, 2,400 plus miles from 1008 Stafford Court. 36 hours, 2,400 plus miles, 1008 Stafford Court from his home. Allegedly, check the disclaimer on the wall, allegedly, Chris Proudfoot, Katie Proudfoot, along with two others, approached a lady fishing. Now, I'm not saying the lady's telling untruths. She's probably telling the truth. Okay, by the time Sebastian's face, and let's do this right here, that's what we talk about, right? Keeping his awareness alive. We want to keep his awareness alive. So through a flyer you did, Silvers on the Scene did, any other creator may have done, someone may have done, she recognized this boy. She recognized his parents, stepdad and mom, who approached her and spoke to her and dealt with her in Oregon sometime back in March 2024. That has led to, what about Washington State? Now we're getting into the border, international, going into Canada. Okay? Nothing wrong with any of these things. We got to follow everything. And then you'll add to that, what about the states surrounding? You know, we talked about not long ago, outside the box, and that's still a theory of Silvers on the Scene. That's still a way we're moving forward in our searches. What do you have? You got Kentucky, you got Mississippi, you got Alabama, you got Georgia, you got Virginia, you got North Carolina, South Carolina, you got East Tennessee within the state. Right? Everybody's looking in his hometown in West Tennessee, but you got East Tennessee too. All of these are possibilities. Because remember, Nancy Grace, in her own words, why are you not at the home, Miss Proudfoot? Because he could be anywhere, Nancy. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you think he could be anywhere 3 weeks from missing, where do you think he is now? 8 months, 15 days. Back in March, Nancy Grace, he could be anywhere. Allegedly on opinion, disclaimer on the wall, but she said it. There's video. I don't have it here to show you, but you can go back and look. She said it. He could be anywhere. Okay, so let's just say that's a month. 7 months, 15 days later, where could he be now? So all of these leads are great, and we need to, as a community, as a team, someone go here, someone go there. But here's the thing I wanted to bring up. Say his name, Sebastian Rogers. Autistic, highly functioning teenager, 15 years old, quickly approaching his 16th birthday next month. But here's the thing, okay? Here's the thing. What I want to make you aware of here, and I can't find my thing. Right here. Here it is. Why so quiet? Shh. So what am I talking about? I just mentioned Oregon and international and Canada and the borders and all the states surrounding. And we got to look everywhere. His hometown, West and East Tennessee. But ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this. That's 1008 Stafford Court. See the mark right there. You can Google it. 8 billion people can Google it. It's out there. Allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall. Just say it just in case. But it's out there for everybody to look at. Okay, you want to know where he lives? This is where he lives. This is where he lived because he's gone. He's vanished. His mom still lives there. Stepdad still lives there. He ain't there, though. Now, Silver's on the Scene. What do I tell you all the time? Silver's on the Scene is because he gets to the scene. You could try this tomorrow, right? Where did my dog poop? I don't know what it looks like. Go to the scene. Go there and look where he pooped, and you'll see, did you leave a little bit behind? Is there something going on there? Did you lose your phone? Where do you go? You go back to the scene you were, right? I was at a McDonald's, so I'll go back to McDonald's to find it. Ladies and gentlemen, look here. You see this arrow? That is your scene. Not 36 hours away, 2,400 miles. Not 240 miles by Chris's, alleged my opinion, by Chris's words, 3 hours, 37 minutes. I know you can do it in 3 hours. I've done it 6 different times in 3 hours. This is the scene, ladies and gentlemen. Not Georgia. Not Kentucky. Not Alabama. Mississippi. Not Oregon, Washington State, international waters and borders of Canada. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the scene right here. This is your scene. Okay? So I'm going to come back to this, and I'm going to say this. Why so quiet? Do you know where I'm going here? Have you figured it out yet? Why so quiet? Why, with this being the scene, and I'm going to count them, unless you don't want to count them yourself, I'm going to count them for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip his house. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a dozen, ladies and gentlemen. That's a dozen. We could throw this one in 13, 14, 15. Great, for good measure, we could throw out another 3, 16, 7. We could probably get up to 20. Forget this whole, go down this whole line right here. But I just took the dozen. Let's count them again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip his house. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ladies and gentlemen, from those 12 homes, you can see Sebastian Rogers' home. Some of those, you can see them with little to no effort. Some of those, when you go to work, you can't help but to see them. Okay? By the way, just a little sidebar. I got Silvers 2 don't normally sit through these types of videos. I just got a sign from her to do the little, the little hand down thing, and I'm thinking, take a breath. In my videos, probably the biggest thing I'm proud of especially when I do ones like this versus the search videos. Search videos, I'm breathing hard, right? But in these, it's a calm voice. It's relaxed. Let's try to find Sebastian. Let's do that right now. Let's take a moment. Let's get back to here. 258, almost 259 days gone. Sebastian Rogers, say his name. $175,000 reward. Look at this kid. Feel like I know this kid and I don't know him, never met him. Hopefully one day I will. The day I'm handing him back to his father. But anyway, so Silvers 2 she just said, she's off scene, behind the scenes, as you all know that. But I had to ask her in here because I knew I'd elevate voice. I knew my passion, my emotions for trying to find this child to come through. One thing you might not know about me, my name's Michael, if you haven't figured that out yet. And I do, do this third person a lot, Silvers on the Scene, but here's the thing. Sometimes I elevate voice, sometimes I get a little high-pitched, if you will, a little aggressive, some may want to call it. It's never aggressive, it's passion. And I asked Silvers 2 to be here because she saw this passion many, many months ago at a dinner one night. And it was so, in a public place, it was such passion that I realized others around were kind of looking, because probably thought a couple was in an argument, or at least I was doing the argument, but it wasn't. It never is. You take your tests that I've taken throughout my career for my full-time job, and passion. And I don't know what it is. I can't really even put my finger on it. I don't want to. Other than tell you that this kid has elicited a passion in me. No different if it was one of my own family members. And that brings me back to, so thank you, Silvers 2, and she may have to do it again, right? 258 days gone, missing. Look here. But that's what brings me to this. Why so quiet? Ladies and gentlemen, I don't live in this neighborhood. I don't live in this state. Allegedly, in my opinion, disclaimer on the wall, from what I'm understanding, there's officials, elected officials, government in this town, in this county, don't welcome outsiders such as myself. That hasn't stopped me from going and looking for this boy. 2.4 miles, 2.7 miles from his house, 27.27 miles from, 1.2 miles from his house, half a mile from his house, near his house here. Last time I did a drive-through, I get all these things about, be careful, you're going through the neighborhood. And that brings me to my point. Why do I have to go through the neighborhood? Because, ladies and gentlemen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, skip his house, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Probably throw that in for good measure. That's the address, 1013. There's a dozen homes, ladies and gentlemen, that you can see his house on a daily basis. Now, before I take the next step here, because Silvers 2 is looking at me, making sure I don't take it too aggressively. When I say this, why so quiet? I'm going to make it bigger. I can here. Why so quiet? I'm directing that to the neighbors. The whole community. Victoria Place. Ever how many homes are there? But I don't care about all the homes. I care about the 12 that can see Sebastian's home every day they step out of their door. Every day they leave for work. Every day they come home for work. 8 months. 15 days. Now listen, before I get crazy and start spouting things that I don't know about, I'm the first to say, every one of these dozen homes could have been sitting at the police station Friday afternoon telling things. And I hope they were. But I don't think they were. Allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer, just in case you forgot it because we've been talking a minute, on the wall. My opinion. You know why my opinion is that? Because I believe if this community, this neighborhood alone, 12 homes, would speak up and say something, come forth with what they know, what their videos may have shown. Did any of these homes, allegedly in my opinion, check that disclaimer on the wall, did any of these homes withhold any videos? Did any of these homes get a knock on the door? Allegedly, my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall, from 1008 Stafford Court neighbor? Did any of these neighbors, when it felt like from 1008 Stafford Court, they were going to say something, had a conversation? Shh. Be careful what you say. This is what the questions I'm asking. Now, we know Bobby. Don't know Bobby's last name. Don't need to know Bobby's last name. Several months ago, JLR, y'all remember it. Then she came on Terry Lynn, by the way. Both of them doing a great job when it comes to Sebastian and other things, especially Terry out there searching. But in the same day or within the first 2 days or so, within the same time, she was on both of their channels. I believe it's the same night. And I was applauding. Way to go, Bobby. Not only was she speaking up what she knew, what she's seen, because she lives, I believe, allegedly on another street, but yet she's not one of these 12 houses. Okay? I don't believe so. But she was speaking for some of the other neighbors. And I turned to Silvers 2 that night and I go, oh my goodness, this is what we've been looking for. Now, here it has been 4 more months ago. I don't know exactly when that was. I'd say it's been at least 4 months. There was no reward back then. We're trying to figure this thing out. But here's my point. Why so quiet? It was almost as if I actually thought after Bobby came forth, another one would and another one would. That's the way a community does. I don't want to say anything, but my neighbor does now. I will. Power in numbers. We work together as a team. Look who's missing here. But it went the other way. Bobby spoke, gave some great information, and then the outsiders, silversonthescene on the scene. Others. We started coming in and picking up where are these other neighbors? Now listen, neighbors, if you're listening to this, I ain't trying to hit you over the head. I ain't trying to speak negatively. I don't do those things, right? Spend a moment on that. People send me emails, oh, why is this person talking negatively? Everybody's got their right to do what they want to do. Say what you want to say. I know my truth, okay? That's all I need to know is my truth. Nothing else matters. You know, I'll say this. I've said it before. Read this not long ago, maybe a month ago. Never heard it before. But some of us out there, some people out there have experienced their whole life rain. And when all you've experienced is rain, you don't even know what sunshine looks like. And it can be shining on you, making you warm and feeling you great. And you don't recognize it because you're accustomed to rain. So let them stay with the rain. It's okay. It's okay. But thank you for those looking out. I think that was the last reply. Thank you for looking out for me. And appreciate, question being, why would this person... I don't know why. Let them do what they want to do, right? Let them do what they want to do. Because what do we have? That is what's called a distraction, right? And there's no distraction in finding this boy, Sebastian Rogers. So let's take a breath here. Have you seen me, missing team? Say his name. As I get back to these neighbors, okay? Is somebody telling them to be quiet? Allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall. Is somebody telling them not to say anything? Ladies and gentlemen, if I lived in this neighborhood as a whole, any of these homes, but definitely these dozen, I could not go to work each day or come home each day or walk down the street or check my mail realizing that this boy who I've heard rumors of, allegedly in my opinion, they didn't even know he lived there. And every day they're looking at a sign that says he's missing. And that's not of concern for you? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to get out of the neighborhood for a minute. Let's go back here. I'm going to get off the neighborhood for a minute. I'm going to attack the town. Let me back up. Silvers 2 just said something to me. I ain't attacking nobody. Just use the right words. I'm going to yell out to the town. I did a video not so long ago that talked about, allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall, Chris Proudfoot was at that dinner at the Roadhouse that night. Okay? Since then, I've heard things of, oh, he got mad, some argument broke out, and he left before dinner was even served, and he went one way and they went the other way. Maybe that's why he wasn't on video, allegedly, in my opinion, when they left the place. But here's the point I'm trying to make. In that video, I said pretty strongly, what about the people who were patrons that night? Who were there with their kids and with their family or their friends or co-workers, having a nice steak, having a good dinner, having a good time Sunday night, that saw him, allegedly. Don't know what they saw. You know, I was in the town one day. This made me think of this. And I could have probably thrown a rock and hit that Roadhouse. And I had to use the bathroom. So I get out of the car and I go into the convenience store. And I use the bathroom. And when I came out, I noticed Hendersonville Police. It was a truck. Didn't look like a police truck, but it said Hendersonville Police on it. Guy got out and he walks by me, he goes in. I walked over to my car and I stood there for a moment. I had been in Drake's Park searching for this boy. And I think I have my flops on now because I let my feet relax from the boots, right? Boots on the ground. They're not that comfortable. And I said, when he walks out, I'm just going to walk up to him and say, Sebastian Rogers, see what he says. Now, I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I just wanted to see what he said. So I don't know what he may have said. He may have said, hey, let's talk about it. Well, you got information? Blah, blah, blah. Could have been great. Or he could have blew me off. By the way, do you spell quiet Q-U-I-E-T, right? I think that's right. I hope that's the right spelling. So I can't say he was quiet. My point of the story is this. What about the town? Why so quiet? Ladies and gentlemen, this 15-year-old boy, there he is. There he is, say his name. Here he is. Let's throw him back up here. Here he is. Here's the flyer, you know. People ask me, why do you use the dog flyer? What does it matter what flyer you use? Put his face up on your Facebook and say his name. What does it matter what flyer you use? Well, I'll tell you the reason I use this flyer. You want to know why I use this flyer? Because it has $175,000 on it. If I use the FBI flyer, which is right here beside it, it's right here beside it. Here it is. $50,000. Now listen, I ain't going to judge you. I don't judge anybody for what they do. People do their own life, right? But here's what I'm trying to say. If it takes the $175,000 for you to say something, for you to finally speak up, for you to go say, here's where his body is, allegedly in my opinion, here's where he's alive, allegedly in my, whatever. If it takes that, I'm not going to hold anything against you. That's why the reward's there. But if it takes 175, why would I want to show a flyer that's only 50? Okay? So there's your quick answer. You know, we started searching for Sebastian back in June, middle to late June. We searched 4 months before there was any kind of reward. We don't care about a reward. We care about this boy coming home. Okay? And that's what leads me back to here. Why so quiet? Why is this town, especially, this is the scene again, where it happened, why are they so quiet? And if you are in one of these 12 homes and you're hearing my broadcast right now and I've got it wrong, simply email me. It's silversonthescene@yahoo.com. silversonthescene. silversonthescene@yahoo.com. Email me and tell me I got it all wrong. It's going to take all of us to find this boy. I think that's very obvious now, right? 8 months, 15 days. But how are these people? And I'm not, no judgment here, but how are these people not, you know, the Proudfoots, I'm going to tell you right now, allegedly, in my opinion, right? They wouldn't like Silvers at all if he lived in one of these 12 homes. They would not like it. That trespassing sign they got about right there, they'd come put one right at our property, especially if I was this house, or that one, or that one, or that one. Right? Because I'm backing out my driveway every day seeing this sign. And every day I saw him at the mailbox. Where's your son? I'm concerned. I got a kid over here, and I'm curious if somebody running around the neighborhood taking her kids. You said he walked out the door. What's going on over there? Why did he leave the house? You ever think about that? Let's think about that for a second. Yeah, I'm getting kind of off here, but we're on the scene right here. He walked out that front door. Why? Now, see, I'm not knocking anybody here. Once again, I'm going down a road. You've probably never heard me with this amount of passion for this child. But I'm saying, let's go look here, and let's go look there, and let's go look up at Oregon. Let's go across the border. Let's go here. Let's go there. Why don't we start right here at the home? I said if you could email me if you got something I've got wrong. You can also email me if you got something you're afraid to come forth and tell. Because like I just told you, they'd be sick of me if I lived near them. The only reason they're probably not sick of me is because I'm 270 miles away. But I'll tell you something. A week ago today, I jumped in my car at 8 a.m. I was 27.27 miles north of this house, off Highway 231 in Westmoreland, in 4 hours. I searched for 4 to 5 hours. I was back that night. I got passion for this. You want to know the quick answer? I got passion for this. This boy, allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall, because here it comes. This boy's been done wrong. He's been done wrong by Christopher Proudfoot, and he's been done wrong by his own mother, Katie Proudfoot. If I'm wrong, silversonthescene at yahoo.com. Allegedly, in my opinion, as I said, I stated again, I throw it up here again. Disclaimer on the wall. I don't have any facts. But I have my own beliefs. I have my own feet on the ground looking for this boy. Sebastian Rogers, say his name. He has been done wrong by his stepdad, Christopher Proudfoot, and his mother, Katie Proudfoot. And I'll say this. Out of their own words, he walked out of that front door. If a 15-year-old boy walks out of his home in the middle of the night with no shoes on, which means he's trying to get the heck out of there, you're responsible. And that's the one thing we have not seen from these two. To sit there and say he walked out of that door, but not take responsibility. Because if he walked out that door, ladies and gentlemen, there was a reason. Was somebody threatening him? Allegedly, in my opinion. Was somebody chasing him? Allegedly, in my opinion. Did he hear something that could affect his well-being? Allegedly, in my opinion. Did he hear something that could affect his father's well-being? Allegedly, in my opinion. There was a reason if he did walk out of that. See, here's the thing, people. You think if he walked out of that house, ain't no foul play. They're okay. If a child walks out of his home, it's because he's afraid of something. And that goes right back to them, allegedly, in my opinion. Their responsibility. Gainesville, Georgia. Maria Gomez, I believe it was. And the good thing is I don't know her name that much because she was found 56 days later. But Maria Gomez left the home, stood in her driveway, and got in a car with a guy from Ohio that she had met online and said, come get me, because her dad wasn't treating her right. Now, they found her 56 days later when she, I believe, if I remember the story right, she contacted her dad and said, hey, I'm here and I'm not coming back home. Well, he went and got her, right? But here's the point of that story. She would have never contacted that guy. And the guy shouldn't have come and get her. He should have called the cops. That's different. We're talking about Maria and what her actions are. But she walked out of that house and got in a car with a stranger and left 300 miles to another area, to Ohio, from Georgia, because she was mad at her dad, probably. We don't know the full story. Point I'm trying to make is if this boy walked out of that house, allegedly, in my opinion, it's because the actions of his parents made him do so. But ladies and gentlemen, as I'll say this again, disclaimer on the wall. He didn't walk out. And that leads me back to this. Why so quiet? These 12 neighbors. Why so quiet? And I want to bring this up. I'm not going to mention the creator's name. I have too much respect for him. I don't want to throw anything his way. But I'll tell you this right now. He's a great creator. Does a great job. And I want to know this. Someone placed a call to him. Very passionate like I am tonight. Very credible sounding to me. There's a difference between crazy and credible, and I heard credible. Allegedly, in my opinion, as he got her to state over and over again, but in her opinion, 3 people came out of this house from the front door carrying something. And it happened around the same time as we all know this flashlight video. I want to know, does anyone else know? The 12 of you, this one across the street specifically, do you know about this? Did this lady see a video? Did someone tell her of a video, allegedly, in my opinion? Because it did not sound like she was making this up. Especially because, and I did a video kind of on it already, but you would think they'd come out the back. It's very dark back there. Unless you want to create a trail for some dogs down the road. Which didn't happen when you're carrying the boy, allegedly, in my opinion. So, Silvers 2 is kind of saying, hey, you're going along, keep it on track. Here's what I'm saying. And I'll calm myself down here. And let's do this. Let's wrap this up real simply. This boy's been missing way too long. I think at 6 months I said way too long. Hell, I probably said it at 4 months. But on June 20th, I believe it was, 1 mile from his house, maybe a little bit more, I did my first walk. I've done over 30 since. I'm not trying to get any claps or pats on the back. I don't need them, don't want them. I want this boy found. And that's why I do it. You know, this is how great of a family I have. I have a full-time job that takes up a lot of my time. Monday through Friday, you can't hardly find me. It took up so much time last week that you hadn't seen a video for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 days now. But I felt like I had to get this off my chest tonight. I got time. I got a chance to spend time with those grandkids last night, with that daughter and son-in-law last night, and that's the immediate family along with Silvers 2 and our dog. You know, I got a mom. She's got a mom. We got family. You know, not one of them has said, "Hey, Michael, won't you come see us? Take a break from searching for the boy. We're missing you. We haven't seen you in a while." Last night was the first time I seen my grandkids in about 6, 7 weeks. So I got to thinking about that tonight. And that kind of started this whole video, because I got to thinking about, please don't let me know. Please don't tell me that I'm pushing my family to the side to look for this boy. Have I adopted him as my family already? And that's how I see it. But that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make this, how great of a family I have, that no one said that, because they know they're invested in it with me. And if my daughter didn't have 2 boys, and if my mom was a little younger, and if my sister didn't have commitments, along with my brother and all these others that are around me, they'd be out there with me too. But they have the full support. But when I was thinking about this, and I was saying his name, Sebastian Rogers, and I'm thinking about this $175,000 reward, I started thinking about these people here. The ones that live around him. The ones that see that poster every day. You know, I didn't even think about this, but this is a cul-de-sac, ladies. This is live here. It's a cul-de-sac. So if you come home, when you come home, you pass the sign. When you leave, you pass the sign. So I don't mean to, what's that word, segregate, what's the word I'm looking for? No segregation here, I guess you could say. Don't mean to leave you guys out here, because y'all in a cul-de-sac, and I know, because I've been there several times. I've waved at neighbors, driven around. They know exactly what I'm there for. Okay? So all you go by it too. And all I want to know is this, real simple. Why are you so quiet? Are you not asking questions on the daily? There will be probably 2 places. If I lived in this neighborhood for 8 months, 15 days, there would be 2 places I would be every day. Besides my work and besides my family, I'd be knocking on the sheriff's department door, and I'd be knocking on the Proudfoot door. Not trying to accost or stalk or doing that. No, we're not talking. To find this boy. Hey, Katie, what have you done? What have we done to find Sebastian? Hey, Chris, where's our next lead at? Where can I help you? Where can we go? How about, Chris, what are you doing this weekend? How about we meet up at noon? I come pick you up and we go look until 4. Because I'd love to get the answer. Let me just challenge each one of you right now. Let me do a challenge. I'm going to do a challenge. And if you know anybody that lives in this area, especially on this street, Stafford Court, as many of you as you can get together, go knock on that door Friday afternoon. Knock on it tomorrow, Monday. Give a whole week advance. Go knock on that door tomorrow sometime. Leave a note in the mailbox or whatever, how you want to communicate. And say, listen, 6 of us, 10 of us, 12 of us, 18 of us want to search for Sebastian Saturday at noon. We got 5 hours to do it before it gets dark. I was there last Saturday. It gets dark, hella dark, at 5:15 in your neighborhood. Okay? So you got till about 5 o'clock. Noon to 5. Let's go looking for Sebastian, noon to 5. See what they tell you, because I'm very curious. Allegedly, in my opinion, no trespassing in our neighborhood. Thank you for being a concerned neighbor. But he could be anywhere. So I don't really understand why we should go look anywhere. So there it is. What were you saying over there? You were saying, I missed it. I missed something. Something I should. Okay. So here it is. Why so quiet? If I'm wrong, let me know I'm wrong. But I just got to thinking Oregon and the border and Washington, and you know, I know Nick the Hat and Dog's team are doing really good out there, you know, and there's creators out there, I can name them all, you know, I named them in the last video. They're doing great jobs. Outsiders coming in, right? Some getting, you know, accosted by it from the court system because of it. So wrong. So wrong. Trying to help find this child. Say his name, Sebastian Rogers. But it got me thinking, what about the people that are at the scene where this boy vanished? Where he went missing, not missing, gone, vanished, gone. Unless he stepped outside and just so happened to be at the right time, the aliens were flying over his neighborhood and sucked him right up before a video could catch him. And I'm not saying that being trying to be funny. I'm saying that's the only possibility I could think. If he stepped out of that door by himself. But if he did step out of that door, what made him step out of that door by himself? Allegedly, in my opinion, he was carried out that door. And if anybody knows about it that lives in this neighborhood, it's been 8 months and 15 days. And by the way, you might not need it because it's a nice neighborhood. It's a $175,000 reward. Okay? So I'll go back. Is anybody asking you to be quiet? Is anybody saying stop talking? Bobby, are you out there? Bobby, I think you did a great interview. And I hope you and your family are okay. And we heard the story about what happened allegedly with Chris riding through his neighborhood, but it's your neighborhood too. You've been there longer from the start. Bobby, why so quiet? You want to call me? We'll talk. You want to send me an email? We'll talk about it. Because I find it hard to believe that law enforcement come knocking on every one of your doors and said, shh, don't say anything about this missing child anymore. Because if they did, you might want to pack your bags and get out of that town and that county. Because it takes a village, they say, to raise a child. It definitely takes a village to find him. Okay? So I'll end it with here because I could go on all night. And by the way, just so you know, this isn't live. I mean, it will be live. I'm not going to edit this, right? So technically, if you don't know in broadcasting, when you do a show and you don't cut anything out, you don't change anything, it's live, okay? So if you, the Sunday Night Football is on now. If I wasn't watching it, if it wasn't on, I hadn't seen any of it, I could watch it later and it'd be live from the replay, right? As long as nobody didn't tell me. So these are live in that sense, but I'm not sitting here with chats rolling and, you know, comment. I'm not doing that. I don't know if I'll ever do it, maybe one day, but I'm not doing that now. Because when I come into the topic, I want to give you the topic. Boom, boom, boom. Let's get it done. Let's show it. Let's don't waste your time. And let's do everything we can to find this boy. This boy, Sebastian Rogers, missing. Let's go over it here. Missing teen, Sebastian Rogers. highly functioning autism. February 26th, ladies and gentlemen. That is 8 months, 15 days ago, 36 weeks. Here in the next half hour or so, 37 weeks, 258 days. Look at that beautiful smile, right? Look at this positive attitude. This kid looks like he's got no worries in the world. And that's the other thing that's brought my passion into this so much. How could these photos I'm seeing, some small videos I've seen of him, I believe at hockey games and bowling and different things he's done in the house, and just being funny, being a kid like he should be. These are our most vulnerable people. So I'm going to go back to this. If you don't know what to say, if you can't come up with it, I'll drive up and I'll go to the police department with you. They might kick me out because I'm not a resident, but I'll at least be there for your support. Okay? Because we got to bring this boy home. And right here's where it happened. Right here's where it happened. Whether he walked out, whether he was carried out, allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall. It doesn't matter really. Right here, he vanished from right here. This is where he was last seen. Right here. Okay? So if you see something, if you've seen something, or you saw something, or you know something, you need to say something. And I don't want to use any fear here, but what if it was your child? What if it was your home and these others weren't saying anything? Because I live in a neighborhood with 32 homes. My home and 31 others. I have probably about 6 little kids running around from the ages of probably 12 all the way down to about 3. The one right next to me, she's about 3. Cute as can be. I'm Uncle Mike to her, right? I'm going to tell you something. She's my neighbor family, right? She's my neighbor. They're friends. If she went missing after I grilled her mom and dad to make sure they had nothing to do with it, and they could convince me that they didn't, I'm going to search high, low, left, right, everywhere for this little girl. Because she's my community. This is your community. Hendersonville is your community. So if you're in the town, if you were in that roadhouse that night, if you were something, if you saw something, speak up, ladies and gentlemen. Speak up. I know it's so easy not to get involved. I know it's so easy to turn your head. You see that sign and that yard, and you think to yourself, I could say something. It might close this thing out. It might bring him home to his dad. You know, I say that too. If I was his dad, I'd probably be knocking on all your doors. I'm not saying, Seth, you're not doing something right or wrong. I think you're doing everything right. I'll tell you this right here. That, when he said that day that it's been one long continuous day, maybe as I state that now, and I've stated it before, but never on a video, maybe that's what pulled me in hard, because that was many months ago. And Seth, if you want to reach out to me, you can. You don't have to. It's your choice. But I'm here for you, brother. I'm here to help you find your son and bring him home. It's that simple. There ain't no other reason. We keep his awareness alive by saying his name, by posting his flyer. I sent a flyer out today. There were other creators on the email. They had already sent, one of them had already sent them out. We're doing all we can. You know, if the Oregon lead is true, if the international lead is true, this goes back to what we talked about, right? If you're in Oregon and they may have, let's just say, follow me here, allegedly my opinion. We get away from the neighborhood now. And they dropped him off in Oregon somewhere, and he's alive and well. Well, now this lady who's come forth remembers meeting him. Maybe now that whole town has his face plastered. So if someone's standing beside him in a grocery store, convenience store, an arcade, and they look over and go, oh my gosh, you know, there's that boy that's missing. Because if they don't know he's missing, they have no clue. You know, I did that back to Maria Gomez. I did that with her. I was like, you got to know if she's somewhere, you know, and I don't know what the abductor did to her. I'm going to call him that because he took her. He should have called the cops, but probably kept her in the house. But, you know, we end up getting her back. They end up getting her back. I didn't have anything to do with that other than just I threw her flyer up, right? She just vanished. But we don't need to be quiet on it. We need to speak up, especially this neighborhood, this town, right? We don't want to be distracted. Finding Sebastian. And we have to keep the awareness alive. And that's how you do it. Spread the flyers. Get them out there. I'll give you this little tip. You saw in the video. The last video I did actually is a little short. Office Depot, Staples, any of those stores, probably your post office. I don't know. Anywhere there's a, but I just know the Office Depot is really good. You literally don't have to talk to anyone. You walk in the store. Let me give you the steps. You walk in the store. You walk over to the printer. Okay? You start tapping keys. You put your credit card in. You approve, say, let's say $50 or whatever. And then it'll say, email that flyer or email your document to this email address. It'll pop up right there on the printer. You test one, it looks good. You make you 5. You make you 10. You make you 2,000. Okay? It'll charge you right there. You can literally go in here, make you 2,000 copies, black or white, color, whatever you want to do, and leave the store without speaking to anyone. Okay? It's real simple. If you want me to give you those instructions in email, silversonthescene@yahoo.com. I'm going to jump off here now because let me back down and say I hope that this video showed some of my passion towards Sebastian Rogers. That's all it is. I think I brought this movie up. I know I brought this movie up to some people. Maybe I've never said it on a video, but it just came to mind right then. It's a true story video, a true story movie. Hilary Swank, I believe, is in it, and the guy from Reacher's in it. You know, they're like the two main thing. And basically what you got a father with 2 kids. One of those daughters is sick. Mother has died, but he's dealing with all those bills from the mother being in the hospital many, many months or years before she died. So he's got the bills hanging over his head. He's got a sick daughter, and he's trying to get her a transplant. Anyway, the Swank character is basically asked by her friend, why are you doing this? And she says, because I can. And that's where Silvers 2 and I are, because we can. And if we could do it, if I could wake up tomorrow morning and start 7 a.m., 8 a.m. and work all, I would. And unfortunately, I can't. I do have to pay my bills, right? I do have to take care of my family. Okay? And so I do that with my full-time job. And they are aware of it. And they are behind me in any way they can too, right? That's why we do it. Because he needs to come home. So if you're listening to this, if you're hearing this, speak up, say something. Stop being quiet. Fear will put us right in our tracks. It'll lock us down, and it'll make us not do what we should do. But I'm going to tell you this, okay? Not my last search. 2 searches ago, I had a weird experience in the woods. Freaked me out. Don't even want to ever go around that area again. I've had some people come in on email, you need to get back there. It could mean, no, it might mean something. It ain't going to mean something to me. You know what I mean? Unless I take a shaman or somebody out there with me, right? To ward off evil spirits. My point is this. That was fear I felt that day. I never felt anything like that. But let's not let fear of people who may have hurt their son. This is allegedly, in my opinion. Check that disclaimer that I'm going to put on the wall again. But allegedly, in my opinion, we can't let them or anyone else who may have hurt this boy go on with this. We got to find him. We got to ask questions. We got to knock on doors. Okay? And I'm not saying law enforcement's not doing their job. I don't know what they're doing. They don't have to tell me what they're doing. I'm just saying we don't have to wait around for them. Right? You get these comments sometimes. You get these emails. Not really the emails. You get the comments that say, you need to stop and let law enforcement do the job. They're not doing anything. Now, allegedly, in my opinion, I'm not saying they're not doing anything. I'm saying, what are they doing? Look here, I just said if I get up tomorrow and work every day, all day on it, I think I may have found a boy already. I don't have that luxury. But they do. That's their job. Right? I remember this boy first went missing. I was watching these reports and I was seeing something, and there was an expert talking about the interviews and what they said and all this stuff. And one of the things they said is, those that are nice to the cops when their freaking son is missing, oh, they're just so great. But yeah, they hadn't found him. You can't be great if you hadn't found him. You don't be great if you find him. What I'm saying is this. Don't let fear keep this boy 10 months, 15 days. A year, 15 days. 2 years, 15 days. His birthday's coming up. Let's bring him home before then. All right, I'm out of here. That's it. I could go on all night. This is probably the most, I finally just kind of felt like I had to let it out. And I hope it came across right, you know. And I hope you understand that we're in this for the right reasons. And I don't know what to say any more than stop being so quiet. Stop being quiet, because look, check it out. Stop being quiet. Speak up. This is way too long. There's not a one of you listening right now that would want your family member gone this long. Think about that, and let's bring this boy home. It's 175,000 out there. I don't care what your reasons are for doing it. Bring him home, right? Make the phone call right now. Make the phone call right now. This is where you can find him. And I hope he's alive when you make that call. You can find him here. Send me my money. That's what we got to do. We got to bring him home. Say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Email me if you need a flyer. Let's keep his name out there. Let's keep his face out there. Could be in any of these states, right? He could be anywhere. So keep the awareness alive. We find him. And oh boy, that's when we get justice for him. And I hope I'm wrong in some of the things I've stated tonight. Allegedly, in my opinion, check the disclaimer on the wall. Some of those things, I hope I'm wrong. And he's alive and he's well. But either way, let's get him home. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. We're coming in on Monday morning, so have a great week. And over the next 20 or 30 minutes here, this kid's going to be missing 259 days. Say his name, Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Have you seen me? Thank you for your time. Thank you for your compliments and your comments. Keep sending the tips and the leads and the emails, you know, because one of them is going to break through. And I'll say it one last time before I jump off. If you're in that town, and most definitely if you're in that neighborhood, and maybe there's some fear there. Maybe there's some uncertainty there. Maybe there's, I don't know what there, that's making you shh. Email me. I'd love to sit down with you. I'd love to walk you through it. And let's bring this boy home. It's going to take all of us. Thank you. Have a great week. Have a great rest of your night. And as always, Silver's on the scene. Stay tuned. More to come. Thank you.